The fact that the current footballers earn enormous sums of money is nothing new, but earning 5 figures per week and having a net worth of 10 figures is outrageous. These are the top 10 football players in terms of wealth. Number 10. Andre Iniesta. Andre Iniesta made the decision to quit Barcelona and retire from professional football in 2018. He was ready to accept a pay reduction and go on, but unexpectedly, his salary rose. During his prime, Iniesta was one of the best players in the world. He co-starred with Xavi Hernandez, Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, and is a midfield wizard. At Camp Nou, he won 4 Champions Leagues and 9 La Liga championships. He was a vital member of the Spain teams that won at Euro 2008 and Euro 2012. He also scored a game-winning goal in the 2010 World Cup final. At 34 years old, with his career winding down, he left one of the biggest clubs in the world to join Vissel Kobe. Now, that might sound like an odd move, but when you consider that the Japanese side was willing to pay Iniesta $30 million a year, well, it makes a little bit more sense. Today, he's worth around $123 million. Number 9. Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's incredible wealth and success were decided by one decision that almost cost him over $100 million. Some young footballers are barely known when they make their debuts. But that wasn't the case for Rooney. Everyone seemed to know about the Everton's young sensation. When Rooney turned 17, Everton gave him the maximum possible wage. They were allowed to pay him at that age. Rooney's first contract was worth an incredible £13,000 a week. When he joined Man United, he was earning £50,000 a week. By 2010, the pay had risen to $180,000. It seemed that Rooney's life-changing decision at just 14 years old wasn't a bad one. He would go on to become one of the most talented footballers England has ever produced. However, at the age of 14, Rooney simply wasn't enjoying football anymore, so he almost quit. He was getting more and more into boxing and considered taking it up full-time. He'd have likely ended up with just a few thousand in the bank and working a normal job like most of us. But being the talent he was, Everton panicked and they were desperate to persuade Rooney to keep at it. But they knew the decision lay out of their hands in the end. Thanks to Everton's youth team coach, Colin Harvey, Rooney didn't quit. And today, he has a lucrative property portfolio that has pocketed huge sums from endorsement deals and has a net worth of $160 million. Number 8. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Many world-class footballers have tales of rags to riches. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is no different. The Swedish striker had a very tough upbringing, which we'll get to in just a moment. Ibrahimovic believes that his life experiences have made him the player and the person he is today. Emperors played for some of the biggest clubs in world football: Ajax, Juve, Inter, Barca, AC Milan, PSG, and Man United. And since 2001, after joining Ajax from Swedish side Malmo, he's always earning big money. But Zlatan's come a long way since those difficult times as a kid. When Sweden's social services sent him to live with his dad after his mom was arrested for handling stolen goods, a young Zlatan often went hungry because there was no food in his alcoholic father's fridge. Thankfully for Ibrahimovic, his natural footballing talent helped him to move on to bigger and better things. And his bold and brash persona makes him a marketer's dream. Zlatan earns big bucks from his partnerships with brands such as Nike, Volvo, and Nivea. Now, at the age of 40, he has a net worth of $190 million. Number 7. Neymar. When Neymar was only 14 years old, he had a huge decision to make. If he'd chosen a different path, his entire life would have played out differently. After making his name with Santos, Neymar joined Barcelona in 2013. He was paid 22 million euros a year at Camp Nou, not bad for a boy from a poor family in Sao Paulo. Moreover, in 2017, one of the most shocking transfers in football history took place. It happened when PSG triggered Neymar's release clause to sign him for £198 million. It's kind of fascinating to consider whether things would have turned out better or worse for Neymar if he had made a different choice as a 14-year-old in 2006. That was when he was given the chance to join Real Madrid. Neymar and his father rejected the offer as they thought he'd develop better at Santos. Anyway, Madrid wouldn't have been able to match PSG's wage offer. The French giants agreed to pay Neymar an eye-watering £775,500 a week when he joined them in 2017. That instantly made Neymar one of the richest athletes in the world. He's also handsomely paid by his sponsors, which include Puma, Red Bull, and Gillette. The Brazilian is now worth around $200 million. Number 6. Dave Whelan. Dave Whelan was the Wigan chairman when they beat Manchester City in the 2013 FA Cup final. His previous involvement in an FA Cup final was much worse. Born in 1936, Whelan was a fullback who played for Blackburn and Crewe. He helped Blackburn reach the FA Cup final in 1916. When they faced the Wolves at Wembley, it should have been the best day of Whelan's career. Instead, it was the worst. A strong tackle from Norman Dilly left him with a broken leg. He was never the same player again and had to retire at the age of 30. Footballers weren't millionaires back then. Far from it. So we didn't have to quickly find another way to earn a crust. The Yorkshireman decided to set up a grocery business. It was a success, and he sold it to Morrisons for £1.5 million in 1978. He then bought JJB Sports, which later became DW Sports. He turned the company into one of the biggest sports retailers in the UK. Whelan, who's now 85 years old, has a net worth of $210 million. Number 5. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest players of all time and one of the richest athletes on the planet. But at the age of 15, a shocking incident almost forced Ronaldo to quit the game. CR7 was a phenomenal talent as a teenager. Manchester United famously begged Alex Ferguson to sign the Sporting CP forward after his brilliant performance. Ferguson listened to his players and brought Ronaldo to Old Trafford, even when he was handed a bumper deal worth £120,000 a week. In 2007, he was worth every single penny. That was also the case at Real Madrid, where Ronaldo's most lucrative deals saw him and paid £365,000 a week. That was a bargain, considering the Portuguese scored 450 goals for the club. Ronaldo owes a lot to the doctor who operated on him as a 15-year-old. As a youngster, he was diagnosed with tachycardia, an abnormal heart rate of over 500 beats a minute. He was almost forced to give up football, but successful heart surgery saved his career and his future riches. Ronaldo's fortune is estimated to be more than $500 million. His wealth comes from football, endorsement deals with the likes of Nike and Armani, and his own business ventures. Number 4. Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi plays for PSG these days, but he'll always be associated with Barcelona. However, things could have turned out very differently if another major European club had got its way. Messi joined Barcelona's academy in 2000 after the club agreed to pay for his treatment for a growth hormone deficiency. The Argentine's talent was clear for everyone to see during his days at La Manta. Everyone in Barcelona was excited to see him play for the first team. Also, on his 18th birthday, Messi signed his first professional contract with a huge €100 million release clause. That didn't put me off though. They were so desperate to sign Messi that they triggered that clause and offered to triple his wages. Messi rejected them and stayed with Barcelona. He could have earned more money at Inter initially, but over the years, Messi was supremely well paid by Barca. His biggest deal was worth $165.5 million a year, and his net worth today is $600 million. Thanks to various footballing contracts and his commercial deals with the likes of Adidas, Pepsi, and MasterCard. Number 3. David Beckham. Actor, model, and businessman. David Beckham is so famous that some people might not even know that he used to be a footballer. Alex Ferguson once hinted that his celebrity status harmed his footballing career. But that's a bit harsh when you look at what Beckham achieved with Manchester United, Real Madrid, AC Milan, PSG, and LA Galaxy. Beckham became the highest paid player on the planet in 2002 when United handed him a deal worth £90,000 a week. Even at that stage, Beckham was raking in dosh from every direction. That continued right up to the present day. He has benefited from deals with Samsung, Adidas, H&M, Gillette, and plenty more. He also has his own company, DB Limited. Beckham's net worth is roughly $670 million. By some calculations, he's even richer than the Queen of England. Number 2. Matthew Flamini. Matthew Flamini is wealthier than David Beckham. Flamini had a decent career, but most people don't know he's one of the wealthiest sportsmen in the entire world. And you'll be even more surprised to find out how he made his money. Flamini was a solid rather than spectacular player for Arsenal and AC Milan. Arsene Wenger upset him highly, but he wasn't the type of footballer who set fans' pulses racing. Flamini wasn't a flair player. He did the dirty work so that others could shine. He was tenacious, hardworking, and intelligent on the pitch. And those very same qualities helped him to become a multi-billionaire. Moreover, in 2008, Flamini co-founded GF Biochemicals. His aim was to find sustainable alternatives to oil-based products. Over the years, the company grew and grew and grew. It's probably grown even more since you started watching this video. The Frenchman is now worth $14 billion. Flamini retired from football in 2019, but his bank balance is looking healthier than ever. Number 1. Faik Bolkaya. At the age of 23, Bolkaya has a net worth of $20 billion. In 1998, he was born in Los Angeles. He spent time at the Southampton, Chelsea, and Leicester youth academies. The 3 clubs, though, let him leave. Additionally, he once participated in an Arsenal trial but was not offered a contract. Bolkaya presently competes for Chonburi in Thailand, football league that isn't exactly the richest in the world. How does the midfielder become so wealthy then? If you hadn't realized it by now, it has nothing to do with his ability on the field. The Brunei royal family includes Bolkaya. The tiny oil-rich nation's reigning sultan is his uncle, with a net worth of approximately $30 billion. Nobody could accuse him of playing football solely for financial gain. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video, and make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you in advance for your feedback. I am Miss Luxurious, signing off for now. Do not forget to visit our YouTube luxury channel, Luxoid, to explore the exemplification of the great state of comfort and extravagant living.